Pete, I've chartered him to really be the quality control officer. That's really more than that, to be a design consultant. There's going to be 10 to 20 of these in Commencement Hall on Founders Day, and the students are going to be standing next to them, waiting to answer questions, and probably a little bit nervous that one of the people that's going to ask them questions will either be President Markey or our founder, who's going to be browsing around. Yeah, I don't think he even expects to see these. And so they're going to be visited. These posters are going to be visited by hundreds of people, and there's a lot of them. And you look at this poster. A funny story is yesterday I talked about it at the PEC. You were there, and Alfredo, my just admired friend, he is the distinguished elder. He's a professor from Columbia and a poet, and he says he can't have any words on a poster. And he showed a fabulous piece of art that was a drawing promoting a website or something like that. And I said, well, you know, these are technical posters. They have to have a lot of words. And this is a lot of words. This is an investment. If somebody is going to spend time approaching that, and furthermore, there's somebody kind of waiting nervously, hopefully, by the poster, and people walk along and look at the pictures and go like that, because the minute you stop, that person is going to be a little vested in you staying and looking at the whole thing. And if you look at, and then you really feel obligated to look through the whole thing. If you're going to do that, you need to want to look through it. So I think if I set this up right, I worked late last night on this, but I don't know that it's readable. You know what? So I will just I'll read it to you, since you probably can't read it back there. You can sort of read it. Okay, so what's the most important point of this poster? Why might somebody read it? Is because open waste dumps are very common here, and they threaten the environment by releasing waste and contamination into adjacent neighborhoods, commercial districts, farms, and water bodies. They threaten the environment. This is a very serious topic, and it's also controversial. So when you say, well, so you're saying this is bad for us? Prove it. Well, that's why you're going to want to look at this. Here's a drawing. Good graphics. Good posters should have a lot of graphics. They should lead the eye through them, just like you would read something. And it says, you know, here's the approach I took. Here's what's going on. That's a picture of a big waste dump with polluted water running off. This burning. I mean it. The burning of waste is so dangerous to Nigerians. There's probably our top scientist in the country, Yangtze Hillary, says that inhalation of air pollution in Nigeria takes 10 years off our life expectancy. Because, for instance, the chemicals coming out of those burning waste dumps are cancer-causing. There's dibenzylfurans, there's dioxins, there's polyaromatic hydrocarbons. They get in your lungs, they cause the tissues to swell, they leave particulates that are irritants. And, you know, we don't live right next to those waste dumps. It's not good for us. It's probably a little bit life-shortening for us, but it's really life-shortening to the people who live right by that huge dump. You can't see the picture, but that giant dump that's over by, on the way to TV Gotel, that's on that road where it spills all over. And, you know, I just cringe when I see people playing soccer, football there, because there are times that that dump is burning and creating a pervasive haze, and they are running and pulling that stuff, which is cancer-causing and has other respiratory threats, like it's called pulmonary edema, emphysema, and other distressing conditions. And that's just really, really bad. And I don't like it when our little football tournament is going on right now next to a big waste pile that is over just outside the west gate of the university. I don't like it at all because it's a health hazard to our young students. So anyway, that's what's important, is a compelling proposition that invites somebody to want to know more, that stimulates their curiosity, that's important. And you know, the other thing that I'll say about this is if they're too busy, then the most important, the only thing they need to know out of all this, they don't need to know my study methods, the pathways, where the waste is, but the one thing, no matter what, I want them to walk away from is that these dumps that are all over Nigeria threaten health and environment, and they do so because they release the waste and contaminants into neighborhoods, farms, and water bodies. That's a piece of information. And if it's somebody really successful, like His Excellency, that's going to be in his mind when he becomes president. And he's going to say, you know, one of the things I'm going to put resources in. I'm going to tax the oil and gas industry, and I'm going to put resources into cleaning up waste, and even, you know what, you can use that waste, you can build a special kind of combustor, a special kind of power plant that is fueled by that waste. And once you finally run out of waste, you say, well, what, is the power plant not useful anymore? No, you can use it with the continuing stream of waste, and you can even fuel it with crops. It's called a waste-to-energy plant. Okay, and then